evening, everyone, and welcome to Check It Out, the library talk show that lets you know what's happening in and around the Bethel Park Public Library. We're your hosts, Elaine Volpe
and Christine McIntosh, and happy November to everyone. I hope Halloween was great for you. It's my favorite time of year.
It is your favorite time of year, isn't it?
It is. So we have some fun stuff going on for adults. We have adult movies for the mind on Monday, November 5th at 10:30 a.m. This month, we'll be showing The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman, which is a really fantastic movie if you haven't seen it.
Wonderful. I loved it.
We'll have popcorn, lively conversation to explore issues raised by the film. And in this film in particular, it's about outcast and exploitation, but also fulfilling the American dream. So feel free to bring a brown bag brunch or a snack. For more information or to register, you can call Carla at the library. And then we have a diversity and inclusion forum on Wednesday, November 7th at 7 p.m. So this forum will gather community residents together to grow and learn about issues that perpetuate a racial or religious divide through facilitated dialogue and experiential learning. So we want it to be a safe place for people to come and have an open dialogue at a time when our community is experiencing some charged dynamics around social events and the recent synagogue shooting. Sure. Yes, it is very timely, but honestly this has been planned for a few months.
Yes.
So, but that will be held in council
and I've heard
chambers.
people talking about it, so I think we're going to have a good response, which is good.
On Facebook people were talking about it and sharing it. So again, Wednesday, November 7th, 7 p.m. This will be in council chambers because we are anticipating a group. Now, I know you guys teach life skills for teens and tweens over in your place.
We do.
So now we're teaching the missing links of budgeting for adults on Wednesday, November 14th at 7 p.m. This is presented by the Center for Women, facilitated by Beverly Watt. She is a branch manager at the Bethel Park Beal Service Corporation. So no matter who you are, what stage of life you're in, everyone has questions about budgeting, and I must confess I'm not that great. I have
just
good
hearing
intention.
the word puts a knot in my stomach
Really?
because I know I'm not good at it. Just anything financial, but it's a really good class. I mean,
yes. So she'll teach you the basics of how to create and maintain a steady budget, and then answer any questions you may have and point you in the direction towards financial stability, which is a great direction in which to go.
For sure.
Talking about Bigfoot in southwestern PA, we had part 1 a couple weeks ago.
We very well received.
Very well.
A lot
we
of
had
chatter about that as well.
70-some people. So we have part 2 coming up on Thursday, November 15th at 6:30 p.m. in council chambers. So again, this is presented by Bigfoot field researcher and paranormal investigator Dwayne Pintoff, and he'll have more exciting experiences and sightings to share with you. It's very interactive. It was really cool.
Yeah, you got to pop in for a little bit.
I popped in and introduced him and saw he had a Bigfoot cast. I mean, it was huge, and he had some recordings, and I picked up all the handouts that he had to send to my brother because he couldn't make it. And
I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about it. But maybe I'll have to attend the second.
Yeah, it's like
the second session.
Even if you don't believe, it's great storytelling.
For sure.
Yeah, he's a very good presenter. Then we have a class on cybercrime fighters on phishing and identity theft. This is taught by Rob, and it will be held on Tuesday, November 20th at 10 a.m. So if you have email or you use social media, or even if you text on your mobile device, you could be a target for phishing. Phishing is an attempt to trick you into divulging personal information that then a cyber criminal can use to take your money or steal your identity. Some of the games on Facebook, I never thought about this, but when they say like
Scramble with Friends that I play all the time?
No, the quizzes, right,
I never do those.
Well, I've learned now not to do those because they do ask for your birth date and because
they want too much information. I've clicked on a couple.
Me too. And then when they ask stuff like that, I'm like, no, I'm not giving you that information. That is an example of phishing. So Rob will teach you how to recognize hallmark signs of phishing and how to stay safer online. This is an Oasis Connections Academy computer course, which is research-based and designed for those 50 and older. This course is 2 hours in length. You'll get a student handbook to take home with you so you can practice, because that's one of the important things is you can do it here and then you get home and you forget.
Right. You don't want to
So
lose it.
we do ask that you register. So those are just some of the cool things that are going on, and I'm always looking forward, especially when fall's coming and winter's coming, what good movies are coming out. So take a look at what's coming out at the library in November.
It's time to make some wrong things right. Help me bring supers back into the sunlight. We need to change people's perceptions about superheroes, and Elastigirl is our best play.
Better than me?
Bye, sweetie.
I'll watch the kids, no problem.
That's not the way you're supposed to do it, Dad. They want us to do it this
I don't
way.
know that way. Why would they change math? Math is math.
Okay,
Math
Dad.
is math.
You know it's crazy, right? To help my family, I gotta leave it. To fix the law, I gotta break it.
You've got to, so our kids can have that choice.
Thank you, young man.
Combustion imminent? What does that mean? Ah!
It means fire, Robert.
March. We've been dating for over a year now, and I think it's about time people met my beautiful girlfriend. What about us taking an adventure east?
Like Queens?
Singapore, Colin's wedding. Don't you want to meet my family?
These people aren't just rich, they're crazy rich.
Oh, you really should have told me that you're like the Prince William of Asia.
That's ridiculous. Much more of a Harry. I met a girl, I fell in love, and I want to marry her.
You're Nicholas Young. You're untouchable. But Rachel's not.
Have you prepped Rachel to face the wolves?
You know I'm back, like I never left.
I really admire you. It takes guts coming all the way over here, facing Nick's family.
Another day, another breath.
I know this much. You will never be enough.
Yo, it's about time someone stood up to Auntie Eleanor. Well, you, not me. Oh, God. She can't know I was ever here.
I feel glorious, glorious. Got a chance to stop you. I was born for this, born for this.
Ever since I can remember, my family has been my whole life. Rachel! Rachel!
If Nick chose me, he would lose his family. And if he chose his family, he might spend the rest of his life resenting you.
You nasty. You got a nasty. You got nastier.
Oh, I do like a party.
Come on, Pig.
What should happen if you forget about me?
Silly old bear. I won't ever forget about you, Pooh. I promise. Not even when I'm 100.
I would have liked it to go on for a while longer. Perhaps it's our turn to save Christopher. You must be Madeline.
Wait, you're the bear of my father's drawings.
Yes. Do you know where he is?
I do.
Let's bounce! I just saw the most preposterous imposter. Look at him. Digger! Eel!
Piglet!
If anyone wants to clap, now is the time to do it.
Oh, bother. Oh, dear, dear.
I don't remember being cheery.
People say nothing is impossible, but I do nothing every day.
No, Pooh, that's not the... Oh, never mind.
The KKK is planning an attack.
How do you propose to make this investigation?
We'll establish contact over the phone. We'll need a white officer to play me when they meet face to face.
You for the white race, Ron?
Oh, hell yeah.
So there becomes a combined Ron Stallworth.
Can you do that?
With the right white man, we can do anything.
What kind of stuff you guys do? Cross burnings, marches. This is fixing to be a big year for us.
You ask too many questions. You undercover or something?
We must unite and organize to fight racism.
Are you down for the liberation of black people?
Power to the people.
All power to all the people.
That's right, sister.
For you, it's a crusade. For me, it's a job.
You're Jewish. That hatred, doesn't that piss you off?
You're taking this Jew lie detector test.
Why are you acting like you ain't got skin in the game?
I'm telling you, the wars are coming.
Knights of the Ku Klux Klan.
That's us, Stallworth Brothers. We're on a roll, baby. America first. America first.
So, what do you think about the Christopher Robin movie? Have you seen it, or do you want to see it?
I have seen the previews,
I
so this
know,
is
it's
one that I
cute.
do want to see. I've always loved Pooh Bear, you know?
Okay, Winnie the Pooh, is that a girl or a boy? Because to me it was always a boy, but
It was always a boy in my head.
Yeah, isn't Winnie a
I
girl's
think
name?
in the books, he's referred to as he, so he's a boy.
Okay.
But Winnie can be a girl's name, sure. It's like, you know, just like any Carson. I just saw a Carson upstairs. She was a little boy.
I
But
know
then
a
a friend of
Carson
mine
that's a
just had a
girl.
girl, and she named it Carson.
Well, it's
She named her
awesome.
Carson. So I guess Winnie is one of those names as well.
Okay. Well,
But
come
you're
on
right.
in.
Winnie, yeah, I never really thought about that
Oh, no,
until
me
now.
either. Me either. But come on in, check out one of the DVDs, and remember, we also have all the classics. One of the few places now where you can get the classics. With Christmas coming up, we have all the classic
Yeah.
movies that we
Yeah.
will
What's
be
your
putting on
favorite
display.
Christmas classic?
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
It was very important to me at a very, very dark time in my life.
Oh,
And so that holds a special place for me.
sure. What about your favorite Christmas comedy?
Elf,
Are
probably.
you an Elf fan? Yeah, I am too.
And, well, Charlie Brown Christmas. And I can't wait to see the new Grinch is coming out.
Oh, I didn't know there was a new
November
Grinch
9th,
coming
they
out.
have a new animated Grinch. And the Grinch
know
doesn't
that.
seem as Grinchy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm anxious to see that. So what's going on over in your department?
Well, lots of good stuff, even though our story times are now on hiatus, if you want, for lack of a better term. We're on that 8-week cycle, so 8 weeks is now up. We're going to take November off, and then we'll start back up again in December with our weekly story times. But there is still some stuff going on. If you have a preschooler and you're looking for something to do with him or her this month, you can come to preschool yoga. There are some spots left in that class. That's going to be Wednesdays at 10 a.m. all throughout the month of November. This is taught by a certified yoga instructor. We do ask that you bring a yoga mat, or a beach towel works just as well if you don't have a yoga mat, right? So that's preschool yoga. And then for our school age friends, we have the CCAs, which is a project that's always near and dear to my heart. We've done it for 5 or 6, maybe even 7 years now. But CCA stands for the Children's Choice Awards, where we encourage anyone in 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th grade to read a selection of books and then vote for their favorite one. So if you can read all 8, fantastic. But even if you can only read half of those, if you read 4, you can still compare and participate, right? Because you can compare those 4 and then cast your vote. So this is a county-wide initiative, but we kind of do it on our own scale here at Bethel Park as well. So details are forthcoming. They will be in our winter flyer, which is due out any day now, actually. We will have that up online and, of course, available at the library desk for you. But you can always get more information just by calling and speaking to one of us over the phone. We're happy to tell you more about it. It's kind of like an ongoing thing. So it starts now, but we want to give everybody time to read those books. So it kind of goes throughout the winter and on into the spring. And then we have our big celebratory event in May. So those are the Children's Choice Awards. For school-age kids and really kids of all ages, we have our gingerbread workshop coming up. It is the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So that would be Saturday, November, 24th? I think, from 1 to 3 p.m. You can just drop by and make a gingerbread house. So much fun. We do this tradition in my own family.
Oh, you do?
We do. Sometimes I take the leftover cartons from here,
Yeah.
actually. So we use the iced tea cartons that are already sealed. We will provide graham crackers for you. We ask that families bring a can of icing and a bag of candy to share. And it's just a fun time to see the different
Yes,
you know,
everyone's
creations
different
that can-
interpretation.
Yep. And then for inspiration, my family and I like to go downtown to the PPG. Have you ever seen that
Unbelievable.
display?
I actually went last year with Kim Adley when she was doing a passport to Pittsburgh. I went
Okay.
down with her, and oh my goodness.
It's so inspiring. You know, I've seen like Heinz Field and like Kennywood. Someone did Kennywood last year. It's
Someone
so
did
amazing.
Rapunzel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they
Like
had
up in the tower?
Yeah, they had a tower, and then they had her long hair. Amazing, and these were from
It is.
school-age kids,
On
different
up, yeah.
groups. Yeah, they were amazing. You should
Yeah.
see them. Yeah.
So you can get very creative with it. We hope you will drop by. We do ask that you register so we have an idea of, you know, how many are coming, but we have no limit. So again, Saturday, November 24th. And then, we have some homeschool class is coming up as well in November. On November 15th, which is a Thursday, you can come for CSI at the library. We're having that at 2 o'clock. And then directly afterwards at 3 o'clock, Miss Lynn will be teaching students about the Johnstown flood. So that's for like grades 3 through 5. I don't know much about the Johnstown flood. But I feel like
I remember the flood. If they're talking, I don't know. I know there was one a long time ago, but there was
over
one,
130 years ago.
Yeah,
actually.
well, there was one. Had to be late 70s, early 80s that my church was involved in helping clean up, and I was probably 8, 10.
In Johnstown, you mean?
Yes.
Oh.
That they had, much like we had here in Bethel this summer.
Right.
But yeah, the big Johnstown flood, I don't know a whole lot about, but having been in Johnstown, they have a lot of plaques that tell you information.
They do.
Yeah,
they do. So if you're interested in learning about that, sign up for our homeschool class again on the 15th. And then for our tweens and our teens, if you ever wanted to learn how to knit, which this is on my bucket list too, every year I say I'm going to learn how to knit, and I never do. You can come to Knitting 101 Tuesdays in November at 7 p.m. This is for 5th and 6th graders. Miss Lynn and Miss Nancy are both, I would say, expert knitters. They've done quite a share of their knitting, and so they will both be on hand to teach you if that is, again, something that you're interested in. And then for our teen crowd, I'm really pushing this Not Your Mother's Book Club. Our first book is The Hate You Give, which is an excellent book. Please read it first before you go see the movie, and please consider joining our book club. So we have this, it's recommended for grades 7 and up because the topics are a little heavier and the books are a little thicker and more deep. But I don't know if you've seen that movie. You've certainly seen the previews, yes?
No.
The Hate You Give?
Oh,
so good.
I haven't.
Know that it's based on the book by Angie Thomas.
Okay.
And you must read the book first.
Okay.
So if you come to our book club on December 2nd, hopefully already having read the book, we'll participate in some discussion and some activities, and then we'll go from there because we're really hoping to grow this book club. And we're going to kind of just see what works best for everybody. So if Sundays isn't a good time, maybe we'll meet on a different day in the winter, but we definitely want to keep this going year round. So again, The Hate You Give is the first book for Not Your Mother's Book Club. And lastly, I just want to mention for the teens, Copycat Painting. Miss Jackie is a wonderful artist, and she does a great job at selecting, fun scenes. So because this is November, she's going to do like a winter scene, and I wish I had an example. She wasn't finished with it yet. But she will take you step by step and help you create a beautiful winter scene. All you need to do is bring a canvas with you. And they sell those small canvas 2-packs at
Michael's or
Michael's and Packetans, and
yeah.
sometimes Walmart will even have them. So just go pick up a canvas. It can be 8 by 10, 11 by 14. It doesn't matter. We have the paints and the paintbrushes and everything else that you might need. So that's what's going on our side in November. We want to thank everybody who came out to the holiday or the Halloween party. It was our Halloween hullabaloo, and I know, Christine, you came out.
I had such a great time.
Isn't it fun just seeing the costumes?
And the costumes are the best.
I love when Mom and Dad dress up too.
Yes.
When the whole family.
We had the Incredibles family.
We did.
I did see them. I love the girl that was a donut. That had a
coffee.
Oh,
that was super cute.
Cup of coffee as her hat, like Dunkin'
Yes.
Donut coffee.
That was super
I guess it's
cute.
just Dunkin' now. They don't have donut in their business name anymore. They're just Dunkin'.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And the young lady that was dressed up as a tree. Jackie would know who it is. Oh my gosh, so cute.
The
Homemade.
Bethel Park Band Hoagie
The
was
band
creative.
hoagie, that was really good.
Yes.
So yeah, it was a great time.
So again, we want to thank everybody who did come out to join us this past Saturday. Here's some highlights of all the fun that we had together.
On Halloween for Trick or Treat, 2 monsters mixed up a stew to eat. They mixed it in a garbage can and laughed about their clever plan for making monster stew. Would you eat monster stew, Adam?
No.
I don't think I would try it either. The first threw in a spotted frog he'd caught down in the marshy bog, and the second tossed a spider in, a spider hairy as his chin, for tasty monster stew.
There you go, Rocco.
You can follow your friends. Go in the circle. You just like the music. And freeze! Is anyone standing on my jack-o'-lantern? Is that you, Rocco?
Yeah, Rocco, close enough.
There you go, dude.
Great job, Lindsay. I really like it. There you go. Are you ready? Go ahead. Okay, take one down, cover it up. Oh. You want to take this one? Yeah, you can take the whole stack. Lift it up, put it up. Okay, as people join in, do not rest your hands. Okay, slowly lean back. Okay, slowly back. I need adult. Okay, slowly lean back. And down. Okay, one more.
We're getting ready to raffle off our book character pumpkins, decorated pumpkins. What's the first one?
The Oathslager family, Oathslager.
We got a winner.
Yes, I know you guys are here, so you can pick any pumpkin
Okay.
you'd like.
All right, we will.
Congratulations. Laylo Basimova. Basimova, congratulations. Pick a pumpkin. Elena Brown. I know she's here. Congratulations. Thank you. And we have one more winner. Sam Cable. Yes!
Go pick your pumpkin.
This one.
So that indeed was a lot of fun, right?
I did. I enjoyed
We had some
myself.
new stations this year, so I'm looking forward to bringing some new ones in next year too. But the spider rope thing is something that we
Yes.
learned at conference just a couple months ago, so we were glad that we finally were able to create that and implement that. So we'll have to definitely bring that one out next year for sure.
Yes.
But good times, good stuff.
I have a few announcements just to let you know. The library will close at 5 p.m. on Wednesday, November 21st, the day before Thanksgiving. And then we will be closed on Thanksgiving Day, November 22nd, in celebration of the Thanksgiving holiday. And speaking of holidays, don't forget that the library is having a fundraiser where we are selling 16 by 20 inch sloth prints of our painting by Elaine's cousin, Maria Prasic. $50, you can get them online through our website or at the front desk. So I have a couple people that I'm buying them
As I
for.
say, it really does make a great gift.
Yeah, it's a
And you'll be
beautiful-
supporting the library as well.
Yes,
So
beautiful painting. And we have a new segment that we're starting this month called I Learned It at the Library. So this one focuses on the exhibit at the Heinz History Center about NASA. So take a look.
Houston, Apollo 11 and Saturn gave us a magnificent ride. Roger, 11, we'll pass that on, and it certainly looks like you're well on your way now. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Hi, it's Christine. I recently visited the Heinz History Center to see the exhibit Destination Moon, the Apollo 11 mission, and I really enjoyed all the artifacts that they had from the Smithsonian related to the mission. It led me to have more questions, though, than answers. So when I went back to the library, I went to the database U.S. History and Context to look up kind of what was going on in our country at that time. And the Sputnik launch by the Russians led to the 1958 National Defense Education Act, which put federal funding into math and science classes. But really, it wasn't because we didn't have the technology or the funding, we just didn't have the political will at the time. But it did affect our education system. And then also, when I saw the command capsule, Columbia, it made me think of things like practical things that you wouldn't have in space. Like, how does an astronaut use the toilet? So I came to the library and I picked up this book, Packing for Mars, The Curious Science of Life in the Void, published by Mary Roach in 2011. And in this book, she does tell you how an astronaut uses the toilet. And it's kind of like a camp toilet, and they have to strap themselves down because, of course, there's no gravity. And the toilet uses air vacuum, because without gravity, your waste would float. So that was very interesting. And then I found out too in this book that astronauts train for these kind of things in a space simulator, which was really interesting. But it also led to other questions, like, how do you live without a shower? P.S. Apparently the capsule stinks really badly when they get back to Earth. Or what happens if you vomit in your space helmet? So if you have some questions about what you would do and how to live in space, you can come to the library like I did and learn it at your library.
37 degrees. Still looking very good. Here go. Top alarm.
So that's a new segment that we're going to have every month.
Yes, very exciting.
So if you see something, on TV, or you go to the museum and you see something that interests you, you can come to the library and find some resources, or you may pick up a book at the library that sparks your interest to go and find out more about it. So
I love it.
I look forward to doing some more of those.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to check it out this evening. As always, if you'd like any more information on any of the things that we talked about on today's show, you know what to do. Go ahead and give us a call.
Visit our website.
Or better yet, stop in and see us in person. We look forward to seeing you soon, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
And new rights to be won, and they must be won and used for the progress of all people. For space science, like nuclear science and all technology, has no conscience of its own. Whether it will become a force for good or ill depends on man. And only if the United States occupies a position of preeminence can we help decide whether this new ocean will be a sea of peace or a new terrifying theater of war. I do not say that we should or will go unprotected against the hostile misuse of space any more than we go unprotected against the hostile use of land or sea. But I do say that space can be explored and mastered without feeding the fires of war, without repeating the mistakes that man has made in extending his writ around this globe of ours. There is no strife, no prejudice, no national conflict in outer space as yet. Its hazards are hostile to us all. Its conquest deserves the best of all mankind, and its opportunity for peaceful cooperation may never come again. But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why, 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? Why does Rice play Texas? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win, and the others too.